The work of restoring healthy systems, either restoring them or rebuilding them, reconstructing them, always begins within us. If we try to fix the external world without doing the internal work, we simply recreate the same broken patterns. Overwhelm, reaction mode, and just keeping up are the old way.
You need real, root-level strategies and practical steps to grow your business or ministry without exhaustion and burnout.
Hi there, we're Anna Saucier
And Megan Gephardt,
best friends and business consultants who help faith-filled women create sustainable growth through simple strategy with a people-first approach.
Here at Apostolic Fruit, we hope to offer you clarity, support, accompaniment, and healing,
one tiny step at a time. Are you struggling with the tension of trying to carry on with business as usual when there are really big and horrendous things happening out there in the world? Several years ago, I remember having this conversation with other business owners, and we were in agreement that a pause was warranted. That when there was a national crisis or a tragedy, or there's really big things going on, that it was best practice to pause the campaigns, to give things more space, to consider a shift in messaging. And I very much agree with that. It honors either the individual trauma that different people are experiencing or the collective trauma around big things like the pandemic, for example. But what about when these kind of big things are happening every damn day? What about when the disruption and the turmoil aren't coming in isolated moments? When it feels like something alarming or disorienting is happening everywhere you look, and when the world just feels so chaotic and everything is disorienting. Right now, what we're collectively experiencing, and particularly in the United States, it's not letting up. And the truth can feel really hard to hold on to. There is a lot going on. And so what do we do in business? I've been wrestling with this, and I want to just be transparent about that and invite you into the conversation as well. Because what do we do? Do we keep marketing and selling the same way we always have? Do we adjust the message of the things we're talking about? Do we pause and wait? Do you give up? I mean, sometimes it feels like this just doesn't work in this climate, and that's tempting to put it all aside. Do we talk about what people are experiencing, and how do you do that, especially when things are so polarized? So do you speak your truth of how you feel about a circumstance? Do you acknowledge these things that everyone is feeling? And to be completely honest with you, I have thought about this a lot, and I struggle with it as a leader in our organization and in leadership, in the women that we work with in leadership. And I don't have a simple answer, and I don't know what the right answer is for you. But what has helped me the most is to keep coming back to the purpose of the work that we're doing. Because it's always been true that we are not just doing coaching and consulting work to help someone increase their revenue for next month. It's never been that short term. We've never been about the quick wins. So that's important now so more than ever. Because what we're witnessing and what we're a part of, what we're experiencing right now at a broad level are the traumatic consequences, we're feeling it, of systems built on shaky foundations. In some cases on the wrong foundations. But it's the foundation that we don't need right now. And when systems are built on those incorrect principles, eventually they begin to break down. And when that happens, when the systems start to break down, when the foundations and the structures start to break down, you see people, many people across many levels, but in particular in leadership, grasping harder for control. And we're grasping faster for control, and in many cases for power, because that's the most obvious control, and with less and less well-formed reasoning. This is a clear sign of breakdown. leadership and systemic breakdown. And sadly, but realistically, what we're experiencing now will get worse before it gets better, and often it does until leadership says, this is not working and we need to shift, or the people demand it, right? And what we should never, ever do is grow numb to the wrongness, to the wrong principles, right? And say, this is just how the system is. This is how it works. Or get used to behavior that is not only illegal and unconstitutional, but against the dignity of human life and the principles of Catholic social teaching. May we, please, Lord, in your mercy, never get used to this. The dignity of the human person must remain at the center of every system we build. And so if it's not there, what do we do next? And even before that, how do we live right now and lead faithfully in times such as these? I don't have a universal framework or formula or model or quick solution, and nobody really does, even if they tell you they do. But what I can tell you and just share with you is what I am trying to focus on and what I'm doing. Firstly, I and the team are buckling down on living our values and principles, always beginning in the inner life first, because honoring the dignity of human life always starts with your own self. As much as leaders try to go out and lead in this way and say, I'm going to create a culture of life and I'm going to share the dignity of a human life. But if they are not respecting that dignity and living in the roots of that human dignity in their own inner life, that external work is either not going to produce fruit or it's going to get twisted. The work of restoring healthy systems, either restoring them or rebuilding them, reconstructing them, always begins within us. If we try to fix the external world without doing the internal work, we simply recreate the same broken patterns. Secondly, I'm ensuring the work that we're doing in Apostolic Fruit is in alignment with our stated values, creating that congruence between the internal and external. I'm personally committing to extra somatic work, and I know our team is all doing their own individual work, to be more fully present to the big emotions that are really, really appropriate to the atrocities that we're seeing. It's so important to process the grief, the anger, and fear that naturally arise when we witness injustice and wrongdoing. To move them through the body and to come back to peace so that we can behave and act from that peace. The emotions are not wrong. We need to recognize them as an appropriate response, feel them and let them move through the body, and then come back to the peace and behave from that place. And perhaps most importantly, because it's the Lord's voice, I'm listening to His calling me to help women be the leaders who are needed right now so they can speak out and speak up. To help you as a woman leader, be that in a nonprofit, in a for-profit business, as a mother, whatever way you're leading, to help you be the courageous woman leader needed in the coming decades to rebuild better systems rooted in better principles. We need women. We need you. Your presence is needed so deeply in the places where systems are failing. Your voice in that matters. Your calling matters. Your courage matters. You have the raw material for reconstruction. And I suspect some of you hearing this feel that stirring within you, that sense that you're being asked to step forward in a new way, even if you don't feel ready. None of us feel ready. The disciples didn't feel ready. Even Jesus didn't feel ready. So I invite you to consider that this is not a moment to shrink back or tone your work down or lessen your presence. If anything, it's a moment to deepen, to strengthen, to turn it up, to expand your capacity, and to amplify your voice. Your work, your calling, your voice, your message, your heart, and your humanity are desperately needed. Please keep being a light in the darkness. Take care of yourself first and always, and lean into the tools and learn how to do that better, because You're going to need it. We're all going to need it. And then take that next step and keep going.
We hope you loved today's episode. If so, would you take a moment to share it with a friend?
If you haven't already, come connect with us human to human at apostolicfruit.com/connect. When you're ready, we'd love to support you more deeply.
May the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you,
And turn his face toward you and give you peace.